State Affairs with Edmond Obilo is live. Stay tuned.
You wrote a letter to the president on the Niger coup. Why are you against ECOWAS intervention, ECOWAS military intervention in Niger?
Yeah, thank you. First of all, the archaeology of that short piece that I wrote. I don't miss the 6 o'clock news bits on Splash. I woke up and I heard about it. I cleared my eyes. Then I waited until it's really true that they are mooting a kind of attack on Niger. Somehow my blood started rising. I couldn't eat breakfast. Ukraine came to my mind. Sudan came to my mind. Who on earth can be thinking this way?
You even mentioned Libya in the letter.
Libya! Yes, Libya. Then it came to my mind too that we are dealing with rulers who don't think about consequences. About 11 o'clock, I asked my young man to turn on the generator. I hardly ever do because of the noise, but I didn't care for the noise. So that was when I started writing that thing. I think it's about 750 words. It's really short. What led me to it is my fear and my concern that anybody will even moot that. Because as I said in the essay, how are you going to carry out this war? At that time, or before that time, Chad, Burkina Faso, Mali had literally recognized, because they were birds of the same feather, that guy. Then the link, historical, geographical, between Niger and both of us borrow our name from the river Niger. With so close. Then I'm still alive yet, but I can say in my lifetime I have witnessed about 6 or 7 coups and counter coups in Nigeria. So when did Nigeria become a policeman, the policeman of West Africa? I was astonished and appalled and anxious at the same time. And I tell you, such things, flashes of inspiration come with passion. Oh yes. So that was how it came about. And so many things I had at the back of my mind. The moment you begin a war, you never know how it's going to end. And I believe that it is important to tell the president that straight away. Because you do not rule by impulse. No.
You feel he did not consult enough?
If he had consulted, somebody there would have told him, this is absolutely impossible. No, you don't rule on impulse. That is, act first, think later. As happened with the subsidy thing. That is a ready way to tragedy.
You feel if any military intervention will allow violence to engulf the West African sub-region?
Absolutely. Now, the Sahel is already a war zone, although people are not calling it so. With the evisceration of Libya, now I think there are 3 Libyas, There's Libya, Benghazi, there's Libya, Tripoli, or whatever. It's chaos as it is. Many of the weapons in the hands of the fighters are coming south. That is why we are not at peace in Nigeria, either in the north or south here. And ISIS is not dead. Al-Qaeda is not dead. No, they are still there. And what they do, they look for vulnerable parts of the world. No part of the world could be more vulnerable than the Sahel now. Poor economy, large, literally emasculated population, and then conniving leaders or rulers. So you throw a bomb or you fire the first shot in Niger, the whole of West Africa will be under fire. And then I was wondering, which foreign countries could be behind this? The Congo came to my mind. DRC is what they call it now. It's one of the richest countries in the world and one of the poorest at the same time. Ayikoyama once said it. The irony, tragic irony about Africa is that the more natural resources we have, the poorer we are. Why? Because the more we become attractive to foreign adventurers. You know, the battle for uranium in Niger, this is really, really the problem, with France and the United States really interested. And I was looking at the possibility of a proxy war, you know, as is happening in Ukraine now. So that's why I had to do that cri du corps, as it were. I have no gun, I have no church, I have no mosque. I don't control a radio station or whatever. How do you reach the people? That's why I did it, and then I sent it all over the world. And I'm happy that it came out in a number of places. I tell you, at the end of the day, when I had finished writing it, I had a little bit of peace of mind, somewhat, that one has been able to make this kind of intervention. And
you want the president to look inward. There are problems at home.
The problems at home. I mean, we are all hungry here, you know, because of these unfolding economic policies, you know. People are hungry and angry at the same time. And then the bandits are still with us. The last time I went home, I think it was 2019.
That was the last time you went home?
Yes.
Why are you running away from home?
COVID took 2020. Oh, it's my relations there who have been telling me there are kidnappers around. Yes, it was, and it is really, really true. So there is no peace either in the south or the north. And you have all these displaced people in the north, in their hundreds, in their thousands. You know, the United Nations is trying to cope, the governors and so on, trying to cope, and as if this were not enough. Now, are we going to add war refugees? And I was wondering, did our president put the map of West Africa on the desk when he was doing this and really see the interconnections, you know, particularly between Niger and Nigeria?
More than half of Niger speak Hausa. That is their language.
That's their language.
So and you cannot really differentiate the border community.
No, in Sokoto, you walk, you know, after 2 minutes, 3 minutes, they say, you hear in French. And they say, oh yeah, this is Niger. Which is how it should be. If France and Britain and others hadn't come, that's how we would have been. It was, all the boundaries in West Africa are artificial. You know, I remember I once wrote an essay on the race to Nikki. The Nikki is a town or village then, the western border of Nigeria. That's very close to what we used to call Dahomey. The French wanted it, the British wanted it. But the British got it because they were closer to Nikki, and they rushed to Nikki to sign an agreement with the local ruler. The French began their own journey from the Atlantic. By the time they got there, the deal had been done. So that's why you have some kind of dent when you draw in the map of the western part of Nigeria, the western border. You know, there's a place where it goes in and out. So our history and geography are so interrelated. This is why, again, we talk about education. We talk about the importance of education, of history. Education may not put $1 million in your bank, but it gives you more than what $1 million can buy. Our rulers need to learn more. They need to humanize their being by really, they need to go beyond functional literacy. You know, you can never become, because that is the only way to transit from rulership to leadership, to transit from being a ruler, an oppressor, to a leader, a person who cares, and a person who treats his or her or the citizens not as subjects, but as citizens.